First of all, then, I guess LV Cup, how buoyant to the squad off the back of the last game?
It was a great achievement for that group of players, regardless of what sort of team Leicester brought. I thought the balance in their team was similar to the balance in our team. A lot of younger players, a lot of developing players, and a certain amount of experience in certain positions as well. So I thought the balance between the two teams was fair and reasonable. But yeah, as I said, I think those players will take a lot out of that, and hopefully that will help them in the short term in their careers.
Yeah, on two levels, I guess. Shutting them out, no tries, some great defensive effort.
Yes, it was a lot of scramble defence as well, because they did break us at times, but we managed to work hard to keep them out. And a lot of boys showed up their quality as well. I thought the back row played very well with us. I thought our midfield played very well, and the work rate of the whole team was generally very pleasing.
And then equally, obviously, I guess in attack, putting 5 tries and getting such a good score, that must give you great heart as well.
Yeah, it did. And a lot of those tries came off the back of our defence. I think for me, and I was genuine when I said this to the players this week, I thought it was probably our most efficient performance as a team. And what I mean by that is everybody was playing for the shirt. Everybody kept on going. There was not one player on that field that shirked for a fraction of a second, and as a result of that we had good numbers.
Well, and a good win as a start, I guess, gives a team a good sort of buoyant start to the tournament if you're looking for silverware, doesn't it?
Well, it's always good to win, and that's what it's about at the end of the day. But I think particularly for this group, we'd made a big point of not only performing well against the Tigers, but maybe trying to put a decent score on them. And at the start of the week, they looked at me a bit strange when I said that, but by the end of the week, they were ready to go, and they certainly proved a point there.
Yeah. But I guess that all counts for nothing now. Blues up next.
Yeah, it's great. Blues. I'm sure Blues will come very strong. We're probably not going to change the side that much, although we'll make 1 or 2 changes, and we'll probably strengthen our options coming off the bench with obviously the week, the following week in mind. But our team, and a lot of those guys, in fairness, deserve a second chance.
Yeah. And always a great derby occasion, because it always lifts both sides again, doesn't it?
Yeah, looking forward to playing the Blues. They're old rivals of ours. We have a lot of respect and regard for the Blues and what they've done over the years, but they'll definitely want a home win on the back of a performance that they'll be disappointed with, but realising they need to springboard into back into the league next week as we do.
So obviously you can use this as a springboard, because not the greatest league start, but I guess the LV success can kick on. It
can, and winning breeds momentum and confidence, and it was important that we had a win. It was a good win for us, and we've got to back that up now with another big performance.
Yes, I guess like with the Autumn Internationals, the Six Nations, it's been a period without your international players who are all returning quite soon.
Yeah, they are, but one of the challenges for that group that played on the weekend was to make sure that it wasn't an easy transition for the internationals coming back here. I wanted the international boys coming back here maybe looking over their shoulder a little bit as to what was happening on the field down here, and I think they certainly did that this week. If they can back that up with another performance next week, I'm sure international players will want to get back and get back playing in the shirt very quickly. Yeah.
I guess if the World Cup has taught us anything, the emergence of youngsters, it shows that anyone can come from anywhere quite quickly to make their mark.
I think so. But a lot of those guys had been playing their trade at regional level for 2 years to a year, and I think that's the grounding for where they've come through.
In terms of the other World Cup players, the Welsh boys, are you any clearer when they're likely to be coming back?
Yeah, we've emailed the Welsh players now, and it'll be a stage sort of return depending on the number of games that they've played.
Right.
And also we'll take each case individually. We hope to get 1 or 2 of them back involved for the Ulster game.
Okay.
It'll be pretty tight turnarounds. They'll probably be coming in on the Thursday before we play. And then we'll try and do the same the following week with the rest of the boys, but we'll need to sit down with them individually and see where they are, see where they are mentally and physically, and what we can do over the next month or so is sort of manage their work rate as well. The important thing for us is that we just get them back playing as soon as possible.
So they're flying Monday, are they? Is it?
Yeah, they're flying Monday. It's going to be a hard ask on a couple of them, but Ken and Tav haven't played much rugby, so we'd like to introduce them as soon as possible, and maybe Scott, but we just have to see where they are when they get back.
Yeah. In terms of Reece's shoulder, have you had any indication of how long that's likely to keep him out at all?
No, we believe that it's just a short-term injury.
Right, okay.
From what we've been told, there's no cause for any great concern. And he was touch and go whether he'd be involved this weekend. So we're hoping that if that is the case, then he should be available.
Is that Ulster game still the target for Matthew Rees as well?
It is, yes, it is. Yeah.
How's he been training?
Training well. He's doing limited amount of contact at the moment, doing a lot of conditioning. But yeah, he's eager to go.
Just looking back on the weekend, Nigel, Roddy Jones played at tight head. Is that somewhere you see his future?
We're just having a look at him there for the next couple of months, really. It's a position that's not easy to get players of any great quality in. Rodri is exceptional talent. There's no doubt about that. But he's learning his trade there at this level. He's played at tight head in the past in the age grade. Right. But there's no doubt that he can play certainly at a high level at loose head. We're just wondering whether he can play at that high level at tight head as well, and we're trying him out.
And Sione, is he going to get a start? Or?
Yeah, he probably will. I was quite impressed with what he did when he came on, and that's why he's here. He brings something different. He brings a physicality, which is quite different to what we have, and it was encouraging signs. Look
at the league, Nigel. Everyone in your pool has won, and everyone in the other pool seems to have lost. I mean, I suppose you can't work out anything at the moment of what you need.
No, it's very difficult. I think the way that we approach these LV games is, yes, to give a certain amount of opportunities to players, but more importantly to continue on the winning ways of the last two games, and not really seeing much of a differentiation between the league and the LV, and just get that momentum going, because I don't want anybody to think there's a huge sea change as soon as we go back into the league. It's just keeping that momentum flowing and going.
Just one question on Wales, and the regions really. I mean, the consensus has been that Wales have done quite well because of the time that the national coaches have had with the players, 4 months or whatever it's been since
it's June. A luxury, isn't it? I'd love to have that. Exactly. I'd love to have that amount of time with them.
What's your stance on that relationship moving forward, regions and union, with the Australian game sandwiched between two lots of Heineken Cup matches?
There's a fundamental question that underpins all of this, and that's the structure of our season, and it causes all sorts of problems, and we all become victims of that situation. And I completely understand that there's a need for international rugby. It underpins a lot of the professional game in terms of the resources and the finances of it. But at the end of the day, a lot of those players have been developed through the regional systems, which again, is supported by the Welsh Rugby Union, and that's partly what we're there to do. But we're also there to be successful, and at the moment, the system works against that. And 4 months to have a group of players together would be brilliant. As regions, we'd love to have that, but we don't get that luxury.
But when an international like that has obviously been hand-picked like it was 4 years ago, so that the South African game, I mean, it's probably doubly frustrating, isn't it? I mean, that's a crucial part of the region's campaign.
It is, but then again, I think what we've been able to do, and maybe not as successfully as it looks in terms of our league results, but I think we've brought through a crop of players that can perform at a level for us, and it's taken them a little bit of time to get to terms with certain things in our game, and to get some results that we wanted, but we haven't been far away. So what we've got is a group of players now that when the next international comes around, which will be the Australian game, I'm fairly confident can stand on their own 2 feet and give us a performance. And that's the other side to it. We are bringing through a lot of players again because of this. So, but it is that balance, and it's never easy.
So do you lose players for 2 weeks or 3 weeks for that international?
Well, 2 weeks is the window that they have.
2 weeks before and the weekend of the game, or just 1
2 weeks total? 2 weekends.
You lose.
2 weekends.
Yeah.